2 years after Amy Bradley vanished from a cruise liner, her family seems to be closing in on the truth. Former Special Forces officer Frank Jones and his reconnaissance team are convinced Amy is being held against her will on the Caribbean island of Curacao. But first, Jones needs a final payment of $100,000. The Bradleys' employer is willing to help out, but wants to make sure the tip is legitimate before he hands over the cash. So on November 1st, 2000, he sends a trusted source, security contractor Tim Buckholes, to Curacao in order to monitor Frank Jones and his team.
He's very kind, he's very gentle, but he's scary. He's the kind of guy that can go on an island or go anywhere in the world, and he just straight up says, I need to meet the criminal element here.
After just a few hours on the island, Buckholes contacts the Bradleys with some heartbreaking news.
He called us saying that Frank Jones is down here drinking rum and having a good time, and with absolutely nothing going on concerning Amy.
Tim has also discovered that Frank Jones is not the former Special Forces operative he claims to be. Jones is a con artist, and that the alleged photos of Amy are phony as well.
He had gotten copies of that tattoo from us that he took to a tattoo parlor, and they did a stencil and put it on this girl. And they posed her on the beach as Amy in order to get some additional funding.
How much money had Iva given to Frank?
Frank had actually taken over $200,000 from that family. And it wasn't the family's money, it was donations, and everybody that was given donations to help find Amy.
In February 2002, Frank Jones is arrested in Virginia and charged with mail fraud. He is sentenced to 5 years in prison and ordered to repay every penny he conned from the Bradleys. But what the Bradleys can't recoup is the time they've wasted on this bogus investigation.
Frank Jones stole 2 years of our ability to be able to do the legitimate things that we needed to do to find Amy. I think about it at this point and I get so angry over the amount of time that we lost.
But while the Bradleys are trying to jumpstart the search for Amy, another lead comes in, this time from a sailor stationed on Curacao.
A Navy officer went into a brothel, and a girl approached him.
And she leaned in and said, my name is Amy Bradley and I need help. And he said, well, you know, what kind of help do you need? And she says, I need help, I can't get out. And then somebody motioned her away.
The details of the sailor's story are strikingly similar to those of David Carmichael, the Canadian scuba diver who encountered Amy 3 years prior. Because the sailor wasn't supposed to be inside the brothel, he waited more than 2 years to come forward.
Since then, that brothel has been burned down. It seems like that a lot of places on Curacao get burned down for whatever reason.
Though Amy's trail has once again grown cold, it now seems clear to the Bradleys that Amy has been forced into prostitution. But they are grateful that Amy is still alive.
You guys are such fighters to keep Amy's name, her face, the circumstances surrounding her disappearance in the forefront.
We can't let her down. And any parent will do whatever, as you well know, whatever you have to do to find your child.
4 more years pass without a single new lead in the case. But finally, in September 2005, the Bradleys receive a shocking tip. An anonymous source sends them photos he found online. The woman in the pictures bears a striking resemblance to Amy.
Could these possibly be Amy? Heavy makeup, kind of wild hair. My sister, the artist, first thing she does is she takes the picture. She said, squint your eyes at that picture and see what you see. And Beth, when I squinted, it was like, it just shocked me. It was just Amy.
Even more telling is the fact that the pictures were pulled from an adult website based in the Caribbean, and the young woman is being advertised as a female escort. After droves of false leads and dashed hopes, The Bradleys want to be 100% sure it's really Amy.
We got in touch with a forensic detective in one of the police departments, and he took those pictures and he took Amy's pictures and he did overlays.
The forensic detective determines that facial structure, hairline, and multiple ear piercings make the girl in the photo a perfect match for Amy.
He gave us the complete breakdown on it, and he said, I will tell you that I will bet my career that this is Amy.
Investigators begin tracing the IP address of the website hosting the pictures. Coming up, just as they're honing in on the source of the photos, another woman's terrifying encounter strikes a new level of fear in the Bradleys and drastically alters the course of the investigation.
It had to have been just sheer panic.
It scared me to death. I thought, are they coming in to rob me or rape me? Or I didn't know what to do.